Ah, today it's about Nintendo Switch OLED and giving my thoughts on that. Well, first of all, a huge letdown, like for majority, uh, I'm guessing. So many were definitely expecting 4K, more powerful Nintendo Switch, uh, but what we got or what we'll be getting is just a, you know, little updated version of original Nintendo Switch. Same hardware, same same power, uh, same chips, uh, and also I'm going to talk about why I'm not going to get, probably not going to get the new console. And it's not just, that it's not more powerful and it doesn't have 4K capabilities. No, not just that. There are other reasons. And, well, first of all, those improvements are pretty much only focusing on the handheld mode of Switch. And I use mainly my Switch with TV. So I play through TV. I very rarely play on handheld mode, or even less tabletop mode. But yeah, anyway, those two are kind of same. You just, you don't use TV and tabletop and handheld modes. Yeah. So I mainly use it for TV, and those improvements are, they are pretty much only focusing on handheld and tabletop mode, because yeah, the OLED screen, sure, it's much brighter and more gorgeous and even somewhat bigger, as the original Switch has 6.2, I think 6.2-inch screen, and the new one will be having a 7-inch OLED screen. But still the same resolution, same 720p screen, and I would say, playing with handheld mode, the original being a smaller screen and still the same 720p, the games look more sharp. I mean, not as colorful, of course, because OLED is much better in that category than LCD. Uh, but yeah, overall, I think the original Switch on handheld mode, the games look sharper, because it's a smaller screen and still the same screen resolution as in the OLED model. So yeah, and better speakers. Well, I think the original stereo speakers on handheld mode, or the Switch itself, uh, were good enough, maybe not loud enough. So we don't know how Nintendo is going to improve those stereo speakers. Maybe they are more louder, have more bass on them. But yeah, that remains to be seen. And also, yay, double the internal storage, like from 32 to 64 gigabytes. Uh, Great Nintendo. We are living 2021 now, and of course, yeah, I understand it's a handheld. You don't really put age DD or SSD on that small device. Of course not. But yeah, I mean, just using the, and isn't Switch using the flash storage memory? I think the internal, yeah, whatever. But yeah, 64 in this age is it's just pathetic, you know. And also, if you buy digitally Switch games, the bigger ones can be quite big, you know. They are. I've seen games that are bigger than 20 gigabytes if you buy them digitally. Uh, I think the biggest I have seen was nearly 30 gigabytes. So couple of those games and your internal storage is almost full. Uh, and also on the original Switch, only one that big game and you're already almost full. If you don't buy a micro SD card. Of course, they are cheap nowadays. You can even buy a, you know, 512 gigabyte micro SD for not that high of a price nowadays. So of course it has that expansion, but still, why not put bigger internal storage on Switch? You know, much bigger. Like they could have just put, you know, something like at least 128 gigabyte internal. So not just double it, but actually quadruple it from the original. But yeah, and well, the one improvement that also focuses on the handheld mode is the backside, you know, stand, which was pathetic in original. It was so small and you needed to have really, you know, firm ground it to even stand up. If it was like this, my bed, it would not be able to stand in this surface. So it had to be solid, firm ground surface. So yeah, so the new one is like, it's much wider. It's almost as wide as the console itself. I think it is actually, if you don't include those Joy-Cons, it's as wide as the console itself. And did I actually already said all the improvements? You know, double the internal storage, bigger screen, brighter screen, new stand, better speakers. I think that's it. Those were the improvements, really. Otherwise, it's the same. It's the same console. And the price. I mean, it is quite expensive, as is the original Switch. But if I would exchange my original Switch to the OLED model, I would still have to buy something like €200. So that is too much, you know. Definitely too much. And like, you know, I just got PS5. I'm not really, I could not really afford another new console right for the next uh, couple of years now, I would say. So I would say also that's quite a blessing for me personally, that a new Switch model turned out to be a huge letdown, because now I don't have to buy it. But if it would have been a 4K model with much more powerful chip inside, and well, alone those improvements would have really make me wanna buy it, uh, acknowledging that I really can't afford it right now. So the new OLED model is coming October 8th, if I remember right, the same day as the new Metroid Dread is coming, which I have pre-ordered because I think that game looked quite interesting. So of course I was waiting for Metroid Prime 4, but that is probably like, could I even say years from now, still, you know. It will come at earliest, I would say 2022 holiday season maybe, but it could be even 2023 if it ever comes, you know. It can be cancelled. Who knows? Maybe this is the Metroid Prime 4, Metroid Dread, but I don't think so at this moment. I still think the Metroid Prime 4 will come eventually. But yeah, it's good to have some Metroid game, because as a, I wouldn't say I'm not a Nintendo fan. I'm a Sony fan, but and I'm definitely not Nintendo fan because I don't really care much about Nintendo's first party game series other than Metroid series. I'm not interested about Legend of Zelda games, not interested about Mario games. Mario, you know, the main series, the golf, the tennis, the Mario Kart series. Well, maybe a Mario Kart series, because I really love kart racing games. So, yeah, maybe that. Mario Kart 8 is awesome game. It's really, really great game, entertaining, fun game, especially on multiplayer. And I mean couch multiplayer, like local multiplayer, not online. I don't give a fuck about that pretty much. But yeah, I mean the only really that I'm really interested about of the Nintendo's first party series is Metroid series. So that alone like means I'm not a Nintendo fan. I play third party games on Nintendo consoles, and that has been like the thing since GameCube, which was my first Nintendo home console. Of course I had Game Boys and yeah, those Nintendo handheld consoles before, but GameCube was my first home console from Nintendo. And since that day I've been playing more those third party games on Nintendo platform. So yeah, and you know, thinking about why did Nintendo really go this way, you know, just giving a minor upgrade to, I wouldn't say upgrade, a minor update to Nintendo Switch console with this OLED screen. I think it has to do maybe with this, global semiconductor shortage, because those Tegra chips are old. They are not hard to get. No, there are. I think they are quite. Because they are old, they are quite easy to manufacture, and it doesn't affect, the manufacturing and availability of the Nintendo Switch OLED, because I think Nintendo really wants that there will be no shortage of that OLED model later this year. So if it would have, much newer chips, the global semiconductor shortage would definitely affect them more heavily, uh, like with Sony and Microsoft right now. So I think that has a big role on the, reason why they just wanted to, update it little, but still the same hardware. Uh, but yeah, there is one thing I'm really impressed about. I almost forgot to mention. One thing I'm really impressed about new of the new OLED model is that, damn, it look gorgeous. It looks so fucking amazing. It it's it looks so much better. Like, the design and just looks is much nicer than the original Switch. Oh, that thing looks gorgeous, and I know I'm a sucker for, good looking, uh, greatly designed systems, gadgets, consoles, phones, whatever. Yeah, I'm a sucker for that. But yeah, the looks itself doesn't really affect me that much that I would buy OLED because it looks so amazing. No, definitely not. But yeah, I admit it looks pretty fucking awesome. Uh, yeah, great looking, this upcoming new model compared to the original. And also, I didn't really mention this before, but regarding the, design and looks of consoles, I personally think that the PS5 is the most gorgeous home console ever released. It's just, to my eyes, is just. I know it's not for everyone, the looks. Someone could say it's just too bulky, it's just too big. Uh, but I gotta admit, I was surprised that the first, on my unboxing, you saw that my first reaction was not, oh my god, this thing is fucking huge. No. My first thought was actually, oh, this is not as big as I imagined it would be. So, and now I got used to it more because I've had it now like almost 2 weeks now, and it just, to my eyes, it just looks smaller and smaller every day. I'm just getting used. It just doesn't look big to me at all. It never was, actually. Like I said, I imagine it would have been even bigger. So yeah, but anyway, to me, the design, the colors, black and white and everything, it just looks damn gorgeous. And I would have to note that damn gorgeous when it's in vertical stance. Like I definitely at like there was no way I would think about keeping it horizontally because I've seen how it looks. It's interesting. It to me it looks actually pretty ugly when it's horizontally, but when it's vertically, it looks so fucking gorgeous. It's weird, don't you think? Yeah, I mean the stance sometimes really, makes a difference, and in PS5 situation, it really makes a big difference, at least for me. But yeah, so yeah, not a surprise I began to talk about PS5 on my Nintendo Switch video. But yeah, of course this was my Nintendo Switch OLED speculation and just my thoughts on it, and yeah, and in the end I would say yeah, a huge letdown and also a blessing that I don't need to buy it. I don't need to buy it now. Uh, but if it would be like 4K capability and much more powerful, then it would be a whole different thing. But yeah, that's about it, and as always, see you in the next one, whatever it is. Maybe it's another album review or something. I still haven't decided what album I'm going to review, but anyway, enough chit chat. It's a bye.